I'm Karen Schuckman, the Executive Director of ASPRS, and I've created this video to explain how our system for individuals, be they members or non-members, can establish and manage the account profile that allows them to interact with ASPRS using two integrated systems, IMAS and HigherLogic. ASPRS headquarters uses an association management software package called IMAS to manage membership records, engage in commerce, and run events that require registration. Our IMAS deployment is licensed to our association management company, EisnerAmper, and only EisnerAmper employees have access to the full back office and IMAS administration. Information stored in IMAS is highly secure and is not shared outside ASPRS headquarters. The IMAS administrator at EisnerAmper creates queries used by ASPRS staff and select members of leadership who are granted permission to generate specific reports. HigherLogic is a companion product to IMAS that is designed for use by the ASPRS user community, including leadership, members, non-members, and even the public. It is linked to the IMAS database and provides varying levels of access to resources based on membership status. In HigherLogic, we have created communities for all of the various entities that are included in the ASPRS governance hierarchy: boards, divisions, committees, working groups, regions, and chapters. These communities can control participation and access to resources based on membership status. Individuals with MyASPRS accounts can follow or participate in these communities, and the communities can also establish and maintain their own websites, all hosted on the HigherLogic platform at community.asprs.org. Individuals with MyASPRS accounts can build contact networks and send messages to groups or other individuals without having to worry about updating contact information as others in the network change jobs and email addresses. The first step for any individual who wants to connect with ASPRS in any way is to create a MyASPRS account in IMAS. IMAS will assign a unique MyASPRS ID number that belongs to that individual forever. All contact information is maintained in the IMAS database. IMAS tracks membership status and dues payments and issues renewal notices. Any purchases, event registrations, or donations are tracked in the individual's MyASPRS account. All ASPRS certifications, including applications in progress, are tracked in IMAS. Users can maintain their MyASPRS username and password in IMAS. And finally, IMAS assigns individual members to regions based on their address information, as I will explain in a few slides to come. Begin at www.asprs.org and click the Join button to create an account. You can join as a full member by paying dues, or you can create a guest account, which is free. When creating a MyASPRS account, the fields shown here are mandatory. The email address will be used by default as the username. The country and postal code entered will be used to establish a default region affiliation based on region geographic boundaries. I created a sample account using an address in the state of Connecticut in the United States, and IMAS assigned me to the appropriate geographic region, North Atlantic. This is shown on the About Me tab in my new IMAS profile. I can also see my unique MyASPRS ID in the mini profile frame on the left. Scrolling down on the About Me tab, you can maintain multiple addresses. By default, the address entered when creating the account is assigned as a work address, but it was really my home address. I can change that now. I can add an additional address and assign it as the home address, and then I can re-enter my information here. Now that I have more than one address in my profile, I can scroll down in the Edit dialog to choose which address to use for mailing, billing, and shipping. Now that I've assigned my initial address to home, I can edit my work address if desired. I've entered a work address here that is in a different region, so IMAS is prompting me to ask if I want to change my region from North Atlantic to Potomac. Note that IMAS uses the word chapter here, but in ASPRS terms, this actually means region. Above the address field on the About Me tab, there is a frame containing primary contact info. Some of this information is populated automatically, but you can update it here. You can also enter a mobile phone here. If you want to edit or add to your name, add professional designations, or add a nickname, you can do so in the mini profile frame at the left of the page. This is where you can also add or edit your employer. As you start to type your employer name, it will auto-populate if that employer has a company record in IMAS. If your company does not appear in IMAS, you can just enter the text. If your employer has a company record in IMAS, you will be asked if you want to change your work address to match the company's primary address. This is optional. If you do apply the company address and then change your mind, you can still manually edit your work address back in the addresses frame on the About Me tab without deleting your employer. As a final note, if you are an ASPRS member, as shown on the right, your paid through date and renewal information will appear in the mini profile frame. Now that your contact information is entered in IMAS, you should take a look at your profile in the Higher Logic community, where it will be displayed in the membership directory and in any communities to which you belong. You can access your community profile from the button on the About Me page. You can control the amount of information shown by clicking the Manage Community Privacy Settings button on the My Privacy tab. Either of these buttons will take you over to the Higher Logic site at https://community.asprs.org. Let me take another minute to, again, explain the difference between IMAS and Higher Logic. Think of IMAS as the back office for Higher Logic. Your information is stored and maintained in IMAS, but Higher Logic is where you interact with ASPRS resources and other members of the ASPRS community. You automatically become part of a region community in Higher Logic based on your region affiliation in IMAS. You can follow the activities of other ASPRS leadership groups by joining their Higher Logic communities or visiting their public-facing web pages. This tutorial doesn't cover all of the functionality of Higher Logic, but the next few slides will show you how your MyASPRS profile is connected to Higher Logic and how you can enhance it with more information about yourself. After creating my sample profile as a non-member in MyASPRS, I clicked the Manage Your ASPRS Community Profile button on the About Me tab to jump here. This is the Higher Logic profile related to my new MyASPRS account. The account details displayed here are extracted from my work address and primary contact information. While it is possible to edit those details here, it is not recommended to do so. IMAS and Higher Logic are synced in near real time, and edits made here will be overwritten by whatever is in IMAS. If you want to edit contact details, do so at MyASPRS. There may be a slight lag, maybe up to an hour, before changes will show up here. One thing you should do here is add a photo to your profile by clicking the Actions tab under the widget at top left. You can add a bio, education and employment history, association membership, and honors and awards to your community profile by editing those elements on the My Profile tab. Here I am showing you my real profile as an example. You can also add social links to your LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and many other popular social sites. You can control the information shown to members, non-members, and public viewers on the My Account Privacy Settings tab. You can also navigate here directly from MyASPRS using the button I showed on an earlier slide. Finally, your community profile information will show up in a directory search or in a listing of community members, displaying the information you have chosen to share in the privacy settings. You can send messages directly to other members of the ASPRS community or build your own contact database without having to maintain and update your own list of email addresses as people move and change jobs over time. This concludes my tutorial on ASPRS profiles. We hope you continue to explore the community platform to follow those groups with whom you share common interests and wish to engage. While some communities and resources are open to the public and non-members with a MyASPRS ID, ASPRS members enjoy the full power of the platform. We hope to see you soon, and thanks for listening.